Hello everybody. Today I am going to show you how to prep a pork butt, which we'll cook up tomorrow on the Traeger. But I'm going to show you how I do it. So most people just rub their pork's butts down with a rub of some sort, but I also inject mine. So I'm going to teach you what I do and show you what I call a faux mojito marinade that we will inject into it and let it sit overnight. So stay tuned, I'll show you what you need. Alright, here we go. What we have is our 7.5 pound pork butt there that we'll rub her down with AlbyQ pork rib rub. And then we are going to use the Reynolds oven kitchen bag, which is the large size ones, because it'll take up to an 8-pound roast. We'll stick it in that when we go to do our injection. Now our injection we're going to make with the blender there with 1.5 cups of orange juice, 1/2 cup lime juice, 2 tablespoons of whole oregano. Actually, you could use leaf oregano too. It doesn't have to be whole. You just need 2 tablespoons of oregano. I have some diced onions there, so you want about 1/2 cup of diced onions, and then I'll use around 4 to 7 cloves of garlic, depending on how garlicky I want it to be, and that's all we need. So let me get this injection prepared, and I'll show you what to do. All right, here we go. Some of you may or may not know this. I bet you there's a lot that do. But yellow mustard is just going to use on the outside of the roast. The reason why is we want our rub to stick to it. You can use oil, like olive oil, maybe an avocado oil. So this is the bottom side. And then I'm going to take my AlbyQ rib rub. I'm just going to put it on somewhat heavy. I'm going to coat the side pretty good. And want to flip this over to the other side. Now, the yellow mustard supposedly does not give any flavor off, so it's nothing to worry about. There's the bone, so this is now bonus. This out. That's the simple thing. I only have one glove left. Clean hands, don't worry. Now we gotta put this in the bag. Our oven bag. This is what I'll store it in overnight in the fridge, and I'll cook it up early tomorrow because this is gonna be probably an 8-hour cook, maybe a little more. So let me just pause this and I'll clean up this mess and I'll show you it in the bag. Alright, this is actually a Cuban marinade, or comes from Cuba, I guess you could say. We don't have sour oranges here in the US, so I'm just using regular orange juice. And I'm not going to put everything in that some mojito marinades call for, so that's why I'm calling it a faux mojito. It's a fake mojito marinade that I've been making for years. So I got my cup of orange juice in the blender, and there's a 1/2 cup of lime juice, 1/2 cup of diced onions. You could put sliced onions in too. I just happen to have some ones that are diced that are left over. I actually have 8 cloves in here, so it's going to get 8 cloves of garlic. So it's up to you how much garlic you like. And then just 2 tablespoons of oregano. And that's it for that marinade. So we're just gonna put our lid on, secure it down, and blend it. So let me pause it so there's not a bunch of noise on here. And there we go, just blended there. So we will use our injector here. That's a stainless steel injector. I'm using the very big tip, so the large chunks can go in there also, won't get plugged. There's several different types of injectors. Some come with smaller needles, and some come with needles that have holes on the side and not in the end like this does. I got this on Amazon for about $22. Lowe's carries stainless steel injectors in their barbecue grilling section for about $17 is what I've seen them at. So this one is called the Beast Injector. That's what I got on Amazon. There's a lot of different ones. They all look the same. I'm sure they all operate the same. So let's get our injection on. Alright, one of the first things to do with your injector after assembling it, take your plunger piece here. It has this rubber O-ring on there. I'm going to take some oil. You can use olive oil. This is avocado oil, just to lube up that so it slides better in the tube, and then put it back together. I've had plastic injectors before and they break. That's why I prefer stainless steel. Snug it up and just a quick pulse on that just to remix it up. And make sure we got all it out. Suck out your marinade. And now I'm going to show you how to inject. So basically, I'm going to stick the needle in. I might be hitting the bone there as much as I can get it, and just start injecting. And you'll see the meat just kind of plump up. Yeah, I'm hitting bone right there. So just be careful not to hurt yourself. And I inject it and I blew it out on the bottom. So, but just keep injecting it all over. Give a nice good flavor. I don't know if you can see it kind of raising up there. Oops, sorry about that. Put it pause before I move. Trying to see if you can see. I'm injecting it. See how that meat's just pumping up there? Yeah. That's gonna be really good flavor. Okay, so I finished injecting the pork butt, and then I poured the rest of the marinade that was in left that I wasn't sucking up in there, so it's just gonna sit into it. So this is gonna sit overnight, being marinated inside and out. Press all the air out, twist it, and just tie it shut. And then as soon as I'm done here, I'm gonna stick it in the fridge, and then tomorrow morning I will start up the Traeger and cook this. So just make sure you put this on the lowest shelf possible. I usually put it in a crisper door sometimes so it'll fit, as long as I don't have a lot of other stuff in there, and just let it sit overnight. And voila, that's our prep on how I do an AlbyQ pork shoulder. Tomorrow we will cook it. Okay, here we are. We are at 225 is what we set our Traeger at. So I got my probe in. So my target temperature is 195. People will take it to 200, 205. But when you start getting above 200, you're taking a danger of possibly drying out your meat. I did inject it, so it should take kind of moisturize itself. But I am going to be spritzing every couple hours probably when I'm checking in on it with a half apple juice, half apple cider vinegar, just to keep it moist. So I'm figuring 1 hour per pound, 7.5 pounds. It's going to be close to 8 hours for this cook. Could be sooner, could be later, depends on how the day goes. It's supposed to be rain, so I'm going to figure later part. So anyway, ready, set, go. Okay, we've been on for 4 hours so far, so I'm just going to spritz this down. I have been doing it. Occasionally I check on it. Get it nice and moist looking. Okay, we've come up the temperature where we're wanting it. It's a little bit over, but I did it because around the bone it's not as hot. So got it pulled off now. And all I'm going to do now is cover with aluminum foil and let it rest for about 10 minutes. Doesn't have to be a tight wrap. Alright, here's the finished product. Okay, because that's from the smoke ring. Basically, kind of see where some of the injection went in. So that's going to have a lot of that flavor there. I'm just going to chop this up and call it good and get dinner on.